guys, it's Liam Caddison here, and we're reacting to episode number 6. What dropped there? I think it was my lead from the headphone that I was using before this. But yes, this is episode 6, which I believe this will end the first half for this season, because I think there's like around 13 episodes for season 1, so yes, but I'm so far loving this show so much. The development of these characters have been pretty interesting, especially in the last episode where we got a bit of May's development, and I was so glad that the spotlight shone on her a bit, because she was always a character, like, before coming into episode 5, she was a character that I felt like deserved more of the spotlight, and thankfully she got a bit of that in the last episode. But yeah, I'm really loving the progress of this show so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what is in store for this week's edition of Lucifer. So with that said, let's get into episode number 6 of season 1. Let's go.
Oh, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Cinnamon, where you gonna run to?
Damn, Lucifer!
Where you gonna run to?
Laser's loving it.
All along them days.
I am.
Well, I run to the rock. Please hide me.
Clean now, I'll go easy on you. So tell me, did you eat
Bad
the
Trixie.
chocolate cake?
No, Mommy.
I don't have a choice, Chloe. This is work.
Yeah, I've never heard that one before. Yeah. Long Beach?
Oi.
Okay, I got it. Thanks. You know, when Trixie asks where you are tomorrow, I'll be sure to tell her that something important came up.
Oh,
Lucifer.
I'm late.
For what?
Work.
Please don't tell me you actually believe you work for the police.
he's
I work for, work
he's
with.
putting this aside for
Civilian
work.
consultant,
Lucifer's
detective
growing.
There's been a murder. My services are needed. Brittany's. Why don't you make my friend feel better?
Oh,
But I've already solved it. I know what killed Owen.
What?
Boredom.
oh
I mean,
God.
getting murdered is probably the most exciting thing that ever happened to him. When do we get to raid a drug house or shoot someone? I mean, I gave up an epic foursome.
These two are living in two different worlds in terms of how to handle this.
Robbery, homicide, snooze fest. The container that's missing, it was yours.
What container?
The
Oh?
container.
The container?
What about my reputation?
Well, apparently it's okay to steal from you now. But if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me.
I was gonna say, someone stole his identity a couple of episodes ago, and now someone's stolen the container.
Who took my property?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out myself. This is bad for business.
And who would know about the storage service?
Who are you?
I'm someone with one of these. But this guy doesn't have one. So say if I were to walk away, he can do whatever he wants to. Or if you're not responsible, you can point us in the right direction of someone who is. Cool?
Wow!
Carlos.
The biker club?
Yeah.
What's in it?
It was a gift from my father.
That's still not an answer. Well, what was it? His memoirs? Some
There we
priceless
go.
porn collection?
Look, if we're going to work together on this, you're going to have to trust
The
me.
rule book
all right?
out the window on the legality of the item.
You're right.
If it
We
came
shouldn't
from
work together
heaven.
on this. It was.
You think what Lucifer had stored in there may be illegal?
Whatever's in that container, he won't tell me. And for a man who's all about oversharing, it says a lot. So I want you to look into him.
That is true. This is
Absolutely.
something that is not getting him, like, overzealous in terms of his words.
If you come out back with me, I'll let you see whatever you want.
Oh, Maze, you bitch! I love you.
This way.
I mean, if Chloe's taking Lucifer from
Straight ahead.
her,
To the left.
bon appetit!
Many hats to hide your horns. Playboy, cop, club owner.
Yes, you forgot master of all things tongue-related. Speaking of which, shall we?
Oh God!
That's for later.
Oh no!
I think we're onto something very important here. One of the hardest things we ever do is learn to be ourselves. I want you to tell me
That's
who
it.
you think that's a fight. I think it's progress.
Or maybe I'm just realizing what a waste of time this is.
But of course, she's also talking to Amenadale.
I'm glad you came to that.
Oh, speak of
everything okay?
the angel?
I thought you seemed pure.
Listen, you really helped me with my
That's one
patient
way
the other day.
to describe
I would
it.
love to return the favor.
Pure of the light,
I know the Bible.
heavenly.
I sign it now. So if you ever need a consult, just let me know.
Mom, you know, Dan's just the way he is, and I wasn't asking for the world. I just wanted to see a little effort, and it's probably too late. It's pointless to discuss this.
Oh no, this is poor. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Hey, monkey.
And why are you wearing a pillow?
Wow, those are great. What do you want?
Chocolate cake.
Done.
For a whole year.
Absolutely not.
Mommy, I'm thirsty.
Okay, fine. Done. Now will you please go get me some
Kids.
clothes?
Right. Very, very persuasive.
I'm taking you in.
And what exactly are you going to say happened?
Oh, mate,
That
I'm
a
loving her more.
tiny female bartender knocked you out, stripped you naked, and put you in your ex's bed?
What else do you want?
To own a clothing line.
Oh,
Clothing line? Wow, I did not see that one coming.
it's managing
No,
the must
no.
be so exhausting, all that brawling and pillaging.
I'm 54.
Really?
I'd rather be in my hammock playing my Stratocaster. All this motorcycle riding's enlarged my prostate. It's unpleasant.
This unfortunate occupational brain surgeon, surely he wouldn't just...
Wonder what?
You were saying, Lucy?
Well done, detective.
A toast to Dr. Linda Martin.
They're sharing
Therapist
drinks
to the
now?
devil himself.
Wow.
Let Dan deal with Maze alone. Oh dear, for the first time I actually feel sorry for Detective Douche.
It all points to you being a criminal.
So what's the big deal? What if I am a criminal?
I'd have to arrest you.
Oh, whip out the cuffs then. Why shy away
Well,
from
you
a little
wouldn't be,
bondage fun?
like,
You
you
know,
wouldn't have your
Lucifer,
job
this is
anymore.
serious. And despite all your weirdness, I actually really like working with you.
Russian dolls.
Russian dolls.
Wait, what? You mean, like, the... Yeah. Really?
Here we go.
No.
Hunt?
So fun.
That tingling sensation running up your spine, inevitability. And the bit running down your leg, fear.
Ooh, this is good. This is too spicy.
You're gonna be more than sorry unless you tell me everything. Please don't.
Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, shh. Ugh, fuck.
Couldn't stop him.
So they are Russian dolls. Okay. That shut me up. I knew it! That was a cover! That was a bloody cover, wasn't it?
They're gone.
Right. Was casting his son into hell also an expression of his love?
No, God didn't cast you out of heaven because he was angry with you.
How can you presume to know God's intentions?
No, I don't. I can't.
Then maybe stick within the limits of your intellectual capacity.
Or maybe my simplicity offers me a different perspective.
This is
God cast you
intriguing.
out because
Themselves. I mean, why do they blame me for all their little failings, as if I'd spent my days sitting on their shoulder, forcing them to commit acts they'd otherwise find repulsive? Oh, the devil made me do it. I have never made any one of them do anything. Never.
What happened to you have to do is embrace all that you are.
Go back to hell.
Yes, you can. You just have to be open to the process.
You don't understand. I can't.
But why?
Because I stole them from me!
Oh, shit.
Someone's got the Mazikeen.
His wings. Yeah.
Someone's got my wings.
Holy shit. Damn. I mean... I know the first bunch of episodes has kind of been laying down the foundation, but the idea that we are now exploring about who has taken Lucifer's wings is just really good. And I gotta say, I think so far, that might have been my favorite, bit in terms of the whole Lucifer stuff. 6 episodes in, that's probably my favorite. The, exploring Lucifer's feelings and how that betrayal has tormented him, that responsibility has really torn him apart. It gives you a very, very nice look at his character, and it's just really well done. Easily, I feel like this is my favourite episode. It just had a lot going. I feel like for all the characters, it had a lot going on. And it really has ramped up the stakes in terms of, Lucifer's own story. Dr. Linda trying to enforce the idea that he is the Prince of Darkness, and ultimately that will lead him back to hell, as Amenadiel, as Maze wants him to go back to hell. This is a nice strategy from him to try and influence that idea. And it just got really tense. I felt like a lot of the cases, in this episode, such as Lucifer's determination to find his wings, about trust and honesty, I felt like those aspects over the crime itself took precedence, and I really loved that. So that was a really great episode. Phenomenal. Ooh. Yeah, easily my favourite episode so far. We've had 6 episodes of Lucifer so far. And whereas they've all been good in their own degree, some better than others, this one stood out so much. We got to see a lot of great performances in this episode alone from Tom Ellis. We have a plot point. We have a plot point to drive onto. We have the mystique of Lucifer's wings and who stole them, and it will be very, very interesting to follow that story. But yeah, we had a lot of like I said, I feel like all the characters had some big involvement in their own ways in this episode, and how the crime of the week tied into I guess the bigger plot was really, really good stuff as well. Yeah, there was just a lot going for this episode, and I really enjoyed it so much that, yeah, this is my favourite episode so far by a country mile. It was just really amazing, and it presented you with the idea to have sympathy for the devil, which is not something that, one can usually agree with, but I think the point is that Lucifer is betrayed. He feels betrayed. He felt like he was being punished, and he's had to live with the idea that he has to torment the damned. Basically, he has to choose this life because he was subjected to it. And you know what? I will be very, very fascinated to find out a bit more backstory regarding Lucifer and how he was sent to hell. I would love to see things a bit more detailed, because we've heard Lucifer's side of the story in this episode, how he was like the favorite son, and how Dr. Martin suggests that God had a very important but difficult task for Lucifer, and Lucifer feels absolutely betrayed by his father. So it's that case of, why do I have the responsibility of damning those and having my name spoken in such a filthy manner? And it's just great. You've got these. I feel like you're going to have these contexts of sorrow for Lucifer, because because we've seen him starting to become something else than the guy who just loves to torture. He does have care, and we've seen him interacting throughout like half of the season to Chloe, to Dr. Martin. He has this charm. He has this very he has this overzealous charm about him, but it's very, very admirable. We certainly enjoy it so much. And I feel like this episode especially did a very incredible job at well, I wouldn't say stripping away the natural characteristics of Lucifer, because the charm in that was still there, but it exposed more of what laid under the skin of Lucifer. The discreet manner he had to Chloe regarding his shipping equipment. He was very, very secretive, and like I said, he whenever it comes to Lucifer, he's not exactly a character that holds back on his words. He basically says what's on his mind. He has no fear about holding back, all that jazz. Except this was the case in this episode. He didn't want to talk about what was in the container. And not just that, though, but that scene with Dr. Martin where she kept pushing, I guess, his boundaries. She kept mentioning all the biblical terms about how God wanted him to do this or that. And he just loses it, punches a hole in the wall. And whereas we've seen short bursts of his anger in this show, like he lashed out to Maze at one point, we haven't seen him that pissed off. So I feel like this episode did a very good job at showcasing what's truly under his skin. More so than any other episode has done. He still maintained his charm throughout this episode, but this was a good exploration to what lies beneath that human skin. So yeah, and I'm not talking about his true form, of course. It's a very, very intriguing way to analyze his character a bit more and see the hurt that comes along with him, because he does feel that hurt. He feels that abandonment, and it's just so interesting because I feel like in the real world, a lot of people do question God. Like, why would God allow this to happen? If he's so good, then why is he so cruel at the same time? And I feel like that aspect is implemented with Lucifer's character. Like, Lucifer, favorite son, Lightbringer, all that jazz. And he gets damned to hell. He has this responsibility of torturing the damned, and he feels like he has to be subjected to this life. And not just that, though, but people only have resentment for his name, essentially. And it's pretty heartbreaking, and he is forced to accept this life. So yeah, I feel like those elements about questioning God's ethics is going to be truly prominent in this series, with how Lucifer feels absolutely betrayed. So, and like I said, I feel like that final scene not that final scene, but that scene with Dr. Martin was, for me, the best scene of Lucifer thus far. This episode truly is the best episode so far, but that scene was a test of his character as well as his boundaries, because Dr. Martin kept pushing them until he snapped, of course. And not just that, though, but we got into his true feelings regarding how he was sent to hell. And on top of that, of course, there's that realization that his wings are gone. So that's only just stoking more fuel into the fire. And I think that was the only push for Lucifer to admit about what he was feeling regarding how he was sent to hell, going into a bit of backstory. But I do want to see that in the visual context, like the backstory of Lucifer getting sent to hell. Maybe we will at some point. I do think we will do, so we can, because this is the thing. I'm not sure if God is going to be this mystique entity that we're never going to see of throughout the show, or if we are, or whatever. But it would be nice for us to have a good insight about how we feel to God. Like, he does all this good. I still have no doubts that he does good, but it would just be very, very interesting if we had a backstory where we were like, you know what? This is really crude of God. So yeah, and by Lucifer's admission, there's that betrayal, and you're already starting to think that you can't help but feel that Lucifer feels betrayed, and you can't help but sympathize with him because it's this case of why me? Why do I have to have this responsibility? This seems excessively cruel. And whilst it's a difficult job, and whilst God would have acknowledged that, it still seems very, very heartbreaking. And I don't know. I don't know what to make a comparison over, but it does feel heartbreaking at the end of the day. So, it was just really good going into Lucifer's character in this episode, as well as Chloe, who has I really liked that admission in the car scene where we had the revelation that in the container was Russian dolls. I don't know why I'm doing that, but because it was Russian dolls, he didn't exactly lie to her. He was honest, because the Russian dolls were in the container, but he didn't reveal what else was also in the container. So, yeah, he wasn't exactly lying. So yeah, I thought it was a nice twist. Because I was thinking there's got to be surely something bigger than the Russian dolls at stake, or if the Russian dolls were actually the Russian dolls. But then again, you got to take in Lucifer's words. I'm not going to lie to you, nor will I ever. And he didn't exactly lie to her. The Russian dolls were there. But you were just thinking, like, are these Russian dolls magical or something like that? I have no idea, because you could just order them from Amazon. And, like, unless they're some kind of guilty pleasure, then it's not something to be discreet about. But we found out what was a bigger stake at this, the wings. So yeah, and like I said, it's going to be a very, very interesting plot moving forward. Now that we've seemingly, because I feel like the first episodes of this show is like building the foundation, and now we're getting into the thick of it. We're getting into the plot, so it will be very, very interesting to go into that aspect. But yeah, like I said, Chloe, I felt like we got a bit of development on her, because her relationship with Lucifer has grown. She actually enjoys working with Lucifer, and she had that fear that what was involved in the container was going to be illegal goods and whatnot, because the dockyard imported usually stuff from black market, illegal stuff, all that jazz. So she worried that Lucifer was going to fall into that crowd. And we had that admission that she actually enjoys working with him. So I thought that was really nice stuff to see. I mean, she still finds him intolerable at times, but it's great to see that someone who wanted Lucifer off her back is now growing to accepting him. There will be a lot of occasions where she's gonna eye roll at Lucifer and all that jazz, but it's great to see that huge step up. And we also got a bit of Dan as well, who I'm glad we got also a bit of development over. Because at first I thought, he's not really that interesting of a character. He's just there. But I felt like this episode did a good job at showing that Dan wants to be. He not only wants to be a good dad, a good cop as well, but also I feel like he still has that feeling for Chloe. he wants to try and make all of this work. Because he had quite a few moments with Maze in this episode. We got a bit more of her, which was amazing stuff. And there was a hot second where I thought she would try to seduce Stan, especially with her hounding Chloe at the end of last episode, and it would also piss her off as well. And I can see Maze doing that. It would lead to a fracture, potentially, with Lucifer and Chloe, considering, to quote, she is his pet, Lucifer's pet. So there might be that feeling that what Maze is doing is on Lucifer, and that would cause a fracture. But she still had her own idea to cause a fracture, and that was to have Dan and Chloe sleep together. So the focus would drive off Lucifer, and Maze can pull Lucifer back into who he should be. Especially with him turning down, I guess that foursome at the beginning. It was really, really great to see Dan and Maze interact, and Maze just knocking out Dan at the end. But I feel like with what Maze said to Dan, I think that's got Dan to think that maybe there is a chance that the relationship with him and Chloe can rekindle, because they're even though like there's a disjoint in terms of their schedules, which was mentioned today with Taco Tuesday and whatnot, there is like I said, he wants to be a good father to Trixie, and I feel like he still thinks that there's a shot with him and Chloe. So I think that's going to be something for Dan to reflect on, like in later episodes, that him and Chloe can still work things out. And what Maze said to him at the end essentially gave him a bit of hope, maybe something to be influential for. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Dan try to rekindle that relationship if possible. But I thought this was a really, really good episode. Best one of the season so far. Phenomenal stuff. Tom Ellis singing. Woof. Like I said, this episode gave a lot of material for Tom, I believe. Like, I've only seen him once before, which was in Doctor Who, in the series 3 finale. And I haven't really paid too much attention to his work. So to see the level of range from someone who's charming to someone severely pissed off to the point where he punches a hole in the wall, it was really good, a really good episode to not just demonstrate Lucifer's feelings and what lays under that charm, but also Tom Ellis's range as well. So I felt like this was a tremendously done episode, and I'm really excited to see, like I said, the Missing Wings plot, as well as hopefully more layers in terms of the backstory with Lucifer and how he was sent to hell, because that's one thing I definitely want from this show, is a bit more backstory, bit more visual potentially, if that's going to be a thing. Because I'm not sure if God's going to be Mystique, if he is not going to show all that, but we'll have to wait and see. But I really thoroughly enjoyed this episode of Lucifer. So I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!